everyone, and welcome back to Scribe Plays Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Previously, we had palled around with a couple of new vampires in New York. D'Angelo, the gumshoe Nosferatu, and, Tamika, the gangrel of the park. I had initial encounters with them, and also discovered that a potential serial killer may be a thin blood. But we will find out what happens next as we continue into the game. So let's see. I had to decide who I was going to go talk to next. I got half the night left. Do I go back to D'Angelo? Oh, what happened to the... I thought there was an option to go talk to the bishop or something, or the invitation thing. Maybe there's not enough time in the night for that. Okay, so... what about our Tremere? Oh, let's go talk to our Tremere. You arrive at the address given to you by Sophie, a small bookstore smack dab in the middle of Broadway, of all places. What really catches you off guard, though, is the store's display. From what you've heard about the Tremere, and the only thing you've heard is from Sophie, they are infamous for their ties to the occult and the mystical. And yet now, looking at the oddball collection of items in the display window, it all feels borderline satirical. The books here cover everything from Ayurvedic practices and homeopathy to wellness and self-motivation. The vaguely amusing juxtapositions don't end there either. They're supposed to keep it a secret, dude. Do you understand what the Masquerade is? You understand what the Tremere are, but you don't understand the Masquerade? Okay. You notice a copy of Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible tucked behind a cheap, smiling Buddha. A scientific journal on hematology sits next to a teen-oriented pamphlet on the blood-type personality theory. A number of religious and quasi-religious symbols, lockets, pins, and various emblazoned paraphernalia are haphazardly strewn across the display and between the tomes. Before you even open the door, you can smell the burning incense and hear the corny, Far East-tinged music seeping through the crackling speaker mounted above the entrance. It's much more quaint than what you expected from what Sophie told you about the so-called warlocks. It doesn't look like they have much interest in impressing outsiders. Masquerade, dude. Then again, if there's anything you've learned these past few nights, it's that appearances can be deceiving. Never mind. At this time of night, the shop appears to be closed. Regardless, you ring the bell. You hear someone shuffling around inside. A brief moment later, the latch slides and the door is pushed open just a few inches. A tired-looking blonde in loose clothes appears in the crack. She seems confused, like you just woke her up. She lets out a yawn, scratching at a tattooed neck. Finally, she squints in your general direction. Her pierced lip curves into an awkward smile. I'll ask for Agathon. I'm looking for a guy named Agathon. Is he around? The girl gives you a suspicious look over, but opens the door. She takes a few steps back, and you hear footsteps coming from behind a floral curtain that covers the back door. A bespectacled, smart-looking woman emerges and looks straight at you. Ooh, is this going to be Aisling Sturbridge? Come in and follow me. Just don't touch anything, please. That's got to be Aisling. You follow her through the store. Inside, as expected, the stuffy air smells of sandalwood, frankincense, and a dozen other aromas. The woman leads you behind the curtain and through the back door onto a rickety staircase. A flight of steps takes you up to the second story. You instantly notice the change in decor as the tacky New Age bookstore gives way to something resembling a cross between a library and a workshop. The smell here is strong too, but much more layered. You're not sure what to make of it at first, but with each whiff, it becomes apparent. Blood. The aroma, though subtle at first, soon becomes overpowering. It takes you a moment to adapt and focus. I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Aisling Sturbridge, and I am the High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs. You are Scribe, correct? I have to say, you're lucky the ward outside the building is only there for notifications tonight. Otherwise, it would have been quite unpleasant. To answer your question, Agathon is here, but he's hard at work and I wouldn't want to disturb him. Am I to understand this is a social visit? How do you know who I am? She's connected. High Regent sounds important. Sure. High Regent of the Chantry of the 5 boroughs. That's quite a mouthful. It might sound fancy, but that's because there's a well-established tradition behind it. One you'd be wise not to ridicule. Some might take offense. Me, for one. What is it that you're here for? Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that I'm her creature, Sophie's creature, so no reason to deny it. So far, being honest in this one regard hasn't hurt me, so. Sophie suggested I should meet Agathon. She said he's quite knowledgeable. Did she now? Aisling looks you up and down. Her countenance seems unchanged, but you can tell she's judging what you said. Uh-huh. That's new. Suddenly, a man enters from a side room. He doesn't even look at you, lost in his own thoughts. I have it, Aisling. I think I know how to find it. He catches himself as he notices you. His face turns sour. A visitor? Yes, we were just discussing you, in fact. Is that so? Let me introduce myself. My name is Scribe. I've been told you might be interested in teaming up. Teaming up? He seems very confused by the notion. What for? I could assist you in your work. I can be quite helpful, knowing I can count on someone to return the favor. Is that right? He seems to consider it, then turns to Aisling. Because anybody lower on the pyramid doesn't usually make much of a move without checking in with the higher on the pyramid. High Regent, may I ask your advice on this? She looks you over, as if judging your worth. It takes her just long enough to make you feel uncomfortable. When she takes her eyes off you, she addresses Agathon. Do you feel like you need assistance in your task, my child? Ooh, is he actually her child, or is that just a term of, structured endearment? I am confident I can do it on my own. He pauses, hesitating for a second. But I do believe it is important enough to warrant outside help, even if only for a single night. Another brief moment of hesitation. Of course, the details would remain between you and I, sire. Oh, okay, it is. Oh, wow, she took a child. Agreed, on all points. Why don't you start by giving our intern here a brief explanation of what it is you're after? Agathon gives Aisling a hesitant look, but the woman nods approvingly. Encouraged, he turns towards you. A member of our clan disappeared without a trace a handful of nights ago. While the High Regent investigates if any foul play was involved, I have been tasked with recovering her research notes. If there is anything left to recover, that is. I may have an idea where to start looking, and I suppose this is where you come in. If you truly wish to help, I could use your assistance tonight. Right now, in fact. Given the time we've just wasted on idle chatter, I should leave immediately. Who's the missing person? Yeah. And the missing kindred, who is she? A single glance at Aisling is enough. You can tell you're not getting an answer, at least for now. We're after her research. That's what you should focus on. These people aren't in the habit of making things simple. Facing layers upon layers of secrecy, you can only hope that what lies beneath is the real deal. The real deal? Okay. I'm heading out. Are you coming or not? Yes. Sure, I'll join you. Very well. He gives Aisling a slight bow. High Regent, with your permission. She nods. Before you go, however, Scribe, defer to Agathon in all things. Our clan values obedience above everything else. Prove you can follow, and this might turn into a mutually beneficial relationship. I will await his return, and his report. Good luck, my child. Agathon bows again and heads out, urging you to follow. The High Regent watches you leave. Outside, Agathon leads you to his car. It's almost funny seeing him get behind a wheel. Somehow, you'd expect a more mystical means of transportation. I would? Okay. You drive south, heading to the Lower East Side. Agathon seems lost in thought. Either that, or he's a very careful driver. Either way, several minutes pass in silence. I'll at least ask where we're going. Williams... Oh. I ask where we're going, but instead of getting a little text box where I ask where we're going, it just immediately jumps into the response. That's different. Williamsburg. There's a place there that our missing colleague frequented. He seems to be thinking of the right words before he decides to address you again. Let me ask you something. Why me? There's likely a couple hundred of us kindred in New York, yet you seek me out specifically. Why? Well, yeah, I didn't tell him that. Sophie spoke highly of you. For one, Sophie spoke highly of you. She gave me a short list of people to meet. You were on it. I see. Once more, he grows silent. You're unsure whether to continue playing as your driver's... Oh, sorry, continue prying as your driver seems to disappear into his thoughts. You drive on into Williamsburg and stop by a fancy-looking building. We're here. There's a restaurant on the top floor. You wanted to help, so here's your chance. I need you to get us inside the VIP lobby. Once we're in, I need about half an hour of focus and some space. It'll be up to you to keep attention away from the room. Can you do it? He doesn't wait for an answer and points to the front door. Go ahead. I'm right behind you. The two of you take the elevator up to the restaurant. The door opens and you see that there are only a few guests left sitting at their tables. An important-looking staff member approaches you. Good evening. I'm very sorry, but the restaurant is closing for the night. I can make a reservation for next week if you wish. We're location scouting. Hey, we're not your regular customers. In fact, we're location scouting for a movie. We'll just take a quick look around and we're gone. No, I'm sorry. We are not interested in being featured in a movie. I will have to ask you to look elsewhere. I would suggest Smith and Wolinski or the 21 Club. Presents. I will use my discipline. Hey, it's all good. We can come in. We'll be in the VIP lobby. It won't take long. The man blinks. A confused smile appears on his face. Yes, of course. Not a problem. Please, come right in. You walk in, trying to look casual, and make your way towards the VIP lobby. You step inside and close the door behind you. It's a nice place, very highbrow, lots of old, expensive-looking furniture and private rooms to discuss any sordid business one discusses when you're that rich. Your companion looks at you with something akin to admiration, or at least that's how you choose to interpret the slight change in his usual somber facade. Why? Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. He inspects the room. It's unusually cold, and Agathon soon discovers why. Looking behind the curtain, a window hangs open. The handle and lock look like they've been dissolved, as if with acid. I only ask why he was impressed because A, he should know about presence, and B, the Tremere possessed the power of dominate, which he could have used on the guy just as well, but anyway. God damn it, Juno. Okay. I'll assume Juno's the person we're looking for. Whoever Juno is, it looks like she's no longer here. A flash of fury sparks in his eyes. Yeah, no kidding. He takes a frantic look around the room. This changes things. Keep an eye on the door. I'll need some time. Half an hour, at the very least. Nobody disturbs me, understand? He hastily pushes a couch and some potted plants out of the way, moves a bar stool, and takes out a curved knife. Cutting into his own arm, he lets some of his blood drip onto the wooden floor. It's pretty fucked up, the way his flesh oozes the deep red, thick vitae. In life, you'd have found it stomach-churning, but right now you feel weirdly turned on by the sight. What follows is more disturbing yet. With one hand, he sheathes the knife and seals the wound. With the other, he smears the blood around him while muttering some weird chant. It sounds vaguely Latin, but you're pretty sure it isn't. It's all more than a little disconcerting, but he seems to know what he's doing. A few moments later, the circle starts glowing faintly as thin wisps of smoke surround Agathon. He sits down in the middle, legs crossed, eyes closed. Minutes pass. Agathon's face twitches from time to time, and his head turns every now and then, as if he was looking around or listening in on a conversation. The smoke grows thicker, forming a veil around the mage. You expected something more flashy, but it's still a sight to behold. You wonder what the point of it is, but refrain from asking. It's probably best to let Agathon do his thing. For close to 30 minutes, you're left to your own devices. Then suddenly, the door opens slightly, and the manager leans into the room. You tense up for a second, but he just gives you an awkward smile. Anything you need? You shoo him away before he can take a closer look at your companion, and he retreats obediently. 2 minutes later, Agathon casually gets up off the floor and walks over to the sofa. He pushes his hand between the cracks in the upholstery and fishes something out. He then turns to you and nods. We're done here. Let's go. You make your way back to the elevator, passing the manager on your way. He gives you a slight, somewhat confused smile, but neither him nor any of his staff get in your way. Despite that, the elevator ride down feels tense, and the two of you only relax once inside Agathon's car. He starts the engine and takes a right at the Continental Army Plaza, back onto the bridge. You're just about to say something, but he beats you to it. That went better than I expected, all things considered. It might have been a trick of the light, but you're pretty sure you just saw a smile. I'm used to working alone, but what I'm dealing with right now, it might require some more assistance, and you seem capable enough. Let's see. I can do more, you know. I don't want to suck up to the guy. I'll say thanks. Gee, thanks. I take it that's your way of showering me with praise? You could swear you just made him smirk. You did fine. Once you really impress me, I'll be sure to let you know. It doesn't take you long to reach the Warlock's hideout. Agathon waves at you absent-mindedly, once again lost in his thoughts. Hopelessly so. One of these nights, you should probably take him up on his offer. Who knows, if you gain his trust, maybe you can actually break through his stoic facade and meet the man underneath. Oh. Okay, I was about to say, it's got to be rest time. Not long after you wake up tonight, Gregory knocks on the door of your apartment. Hey, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you. Do you know what she needs me for? Nah. What if I don't want to see her? Nah. Well, my freedom was good while it lasted? Yeah. Those last 2 nights were nice. I had freedom, initiative, good while it lasted, I guess. He smiles apologetically. Don't shoot the messenger. The car's waiting, shall we? You wrestle with the same thoughts as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave, disappear, let Sophie find somebody else to employ. She saved your life, dude. Also, where are you going to go? And how will you get there? And who will take you in? But then you remember the Anarch thug being cut down by Kadir and how close you were to the same fate not even a week ago, and that it might still happen if you step out of line. Yes, very good. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you enter. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings in the room. You're pretty sure it was here earlier, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life, entirely entranced. I wonder if the curse will ever hit our character. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to the both of you, a bit of irritation in her countenance that soon gives way to a pleasant, warm smile. You're here. Excellent. Thank you, Gregory. Her driver leaves and she turns her attention to you. I hope you had a good few nights and made some new acquaintances, but I have to say, I'm happy to see you, Scribe. Thank you for coming. The change in mood of the room is so sudden and startling, it makes you consider the true power of vampiric charisma. Rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her motions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine and expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being. I have a request for you this night. I need you to find somebody for me and make a delivery. She points to the statue at the side of the room. You notice a plain-looking flash drive lying on the edge where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. Oh, is it that right there? I presume so. The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. He has eyes and ears all over New York, and it's rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I'll need you to take this flash drive and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible. You're about to ask what's on the drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you. Oh, don't worry about the contents. They are encrypted, a precaution for if the data falls into the wrong hands. But it won't, correct? She gives you a smile that, just a handful of nights ago, would make you feel like melting. Oh, and Scribe, Kaiser is a Nosferatu, that twisted, deformed lineage of kindred. He is old, and his age has made him even more paranoid than others of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens and changes them often. From what I've gathered, he or one of his servants should be found at the park on Coney Island tonight. You'll have to identify them, somehow. I'm told Kaiser has spent many of his nights these past few years being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep an eye out for it. That smile again, but much shorter. Why do you need to trade with Kaiser? None of my business. Why don't you look for Kaiser yourself? No. Anything more on Kaiser? Anything more you can tell me about Kaiser? He's been here a long time, about as long as I have. He got into a lot of trouble for exchanging information with both the Anarchs and the Camarilla in the past, but ultimately got off scot-free. Kaiser's web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say that's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night, and good luck. She flashes one last smile at you and turns back to the painting, clearly done with the conversation. You pocket the flash drive and head out toward Coney Island. It takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of the Coney Island amusement park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant this time, thank God for Belt Parkway. There are plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as a traveling purveyor of secrets. Then again, if they did stand out, it would be kind of pointless, right? Yeah, well, I'm glad you're learning something. Nothing to do but figure out the right approach. Ask around for Kaiser. Search for signs of Kaiser. Yeah, let's try the gumshoe approach before I start using my disciplines. There are plenty of nooks and crannies to investigate around here, but if Kaiser frequents this area, there has to be some kind of clue to grab onto, right? You spend a good hour snooping around, eyes peeled for the black limo Sophie mentioned, or any sign that a Nosferatu, or any vampire, has their haven around these parts. Zilch. Annoyed, you turn back toward the light of the amusement park, only to find a man standing in your way. Wearing an oversized jacket, he had the air of a junkie or dealer about him. Who knows what he's got in those pockets? You lost? Maybe. What's it to you? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. What's it to you? What kind of answer is that? You a spook? A fed? He looks at you intently, like he's trying to guess your real purpose here. Get out of here before I kick your ass. I'm just looking for a guy. Chill, I'm just looking for a guy. Drives around in a black limo. Stops here sometimes. Ring any bells? No idea what you're yapping about. He's a terrible liar, clearly full of shit. Intimidate him. Yeah, tell him Sophie sent me. Listen, I was sent here by Sophie Langley. She has something for Kaiser. I need to contact him and hand it over. Nothing more to it. Don't know her, and I told you already, I don't know who Kaiser is either. He sees the doubt in your face. Fuck it, stay right there. He produces his phone. It's a fancy model, doesn't look like anything readily available on the market. Unlocks it, dials a number, 2 tones go by, a voice on the other end. Sorry to bother you again, boss. Yeah, I know how much you need your alone time. That sounds very nice. There's somebody here who wants to see you. They're with Langley? Sophie Langley, yeah. A string of loud obscenities fill the phone. The man winces and pushes it away from his ear, and then the call stops. Almost immediately a chime, the Count's laugh from Sesame Street. Wow. Announces as a new message let me try that again. Wow. Announces an new message sent to the phone. New message. Okay. He's on his way. Don't go anywhere. The inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol, but it currently has none of that. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. What? Now I'm inside a limo? Did I skip a beat? Did I double-click something? Okay, there are dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of a gory torture session. You wonder if the limo's owner can focus on anything while surrounded by all this visual noise, and then realize there's nobody there. Or is there? I must have skipped a beat or something, because I didn't get into the limo. What? Okay. A man blinks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates a regal presence. You're 100% sure it's Kaiser. Surrounded by dimly lit computer screens, somehow I teleported there, his features are even more ghastly than you imagined, all sharp angles of twisted bone, mangled flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. The doors close behind you. The doors I never went through. Okay.
So, the waste of good blood outside tells me Sophie Langley sent you, huh? You've got something for me?
You reluctantly pull the flash drive from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into a USB port on the arm of his chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happen to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data.
Who do you people think I am? I saw this footage a week ago.
He removes the flash drive and throws it back at you in disgust.
Tell Sophie the deal's off. She wants her address, she can give me something else.
Ask how I can make it up to him. I'm sorry this proved disappointing to you, Mr. Kaiser. Can I do something to make it up to you? He seems genuinely impressed. I was told to be polite. I can listen and take instruction.
Now that's what I like to hear. Yeah, in fact, I was just about to mention it. I have something in mind. We'll talk again soon. You do that for me, the address is yours. Now would you be so kind as to get the fuck out of my car?
You're pretty sure you're done here. You get out, close the door behind you, and the car immediately starts backing up. The opaque windows slide past you, and soon the limo is on its way. Kaiser's lackey is nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to your car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. Yeah, well, it was interesting that I never got into the car. But, okay. Was this the... Yeah, the cathedral. Okay. Well, let's visit our last contact, the Malkavian in Lower Manhattan. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated to a row of PCs. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absent-mindedly and some bored kids wasting the late evening hours on colorful online games. Okay. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. You approach the man and tell him, I was supposed to meet Hope here. If I told you I was supposed to meet Hope here, what would you say to me? I'd probably tell you I'm surprised. People are usually far more discreet about seeing her. The man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, he raises his voice again. Come on, right this way. He heads back into the cafe, and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. I'm sure all of that will age very well as this game sits around. It's a common sight, one you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? Okay. The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room with a lone source of pale light. A computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. As you do, you hear the doors shutting behind you, behind your back, and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. Are you not going to name drop anything? Okay. A cursor is blinking in the user nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. Is it? Okay. After brief consideration, you type in my name. Scribe. Better play it straight and prove you have nothing to hide as a gesture of goodwill. That's what I was thinking. After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Hostage executioner. Just to be clear, I don't... Well, I gotta scroll up. Oh, whoa, whoa. Hold on there, game. Okay, do I have a chance to read these at... Okay, let me scroll all the way back up. Just to be clear, I don't have a wank rag. Cult of Luna, LMAO. Thirst victim, oh for sure. Hostage executioner, no. FR. LMAO was meant for... Okay, never mind, I think I regret scrolling up now. Both. Wait, who is Scribe? A new user. Wasn't here a second before. What the hell? Was anyone informed? No announcement. I know I wasn't. At Jerry 2010. Scribe, identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. Is Hope playing all these parts? I'm just guessing. The chat goes silent, everyone seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better say something before they kick you out. Or it's Hope with multiple personality disorder or something, which is a little cliche, but... I'm looking for Hope. Looking for Hope. Is she here? Vulgar. Who the fuck are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. And okay, I gotta wait for the game to let me read. This is supposed to be a safe channel investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get their location, Jerry? Yeah, sure. That's our Jerry. Gonna DM it to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble. Yeah, you're gonna regret, dumbass, the day you decided to spy on us. Presence. Try to get the chat under control. You don't use presence on a computer. No, the waiter brought me here. Calm down. Fuck off. Scribe. That one guy brought me here. Doubtful. Thought this is where I can meet Hope. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. Jerry, how are things on your end? Got the info. Nice. You want to die, asshole? You will die. You will die. 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 Sentenced to death for a shitty name their mom gave them. Tough shit. I'm literally on my way to kill you right now. Yeah, sorry to inform you you're about to die. R.I.P., bitch. You're getting your throat slit right here, right now. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily.
You've come to the wrong chat room, motherfucker.
A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear, and the grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. No kidding.
Last words?
Your chat room sucks ass. Well, just like with everyone else, I will confess my purpose being here. Sophie sent me here.
Langley.
The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly.
Don't struggle, or I will break your windpipe.
Or my phone, which would end even worse for you. Sounds of a camera shudder and light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you?
All right, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Mr. Intruder. Pretty please.
The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn and take a good look at them.
Let me just finish this.
That's a little cliche, but okay. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s, giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away at her phone screen. First, you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. Then you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of odd patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second.
Gave you a scare, huh?
Sorry, that's what you get for entering a lady's haven without permission. And she's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. She's a vampire. Also, if all it takes is her waiter thrall or whatever to just let somebody in asking for hope, then she needs to fire that guy. Or kill him. But then again, nothing is what it seems. Nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead. And even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you're still cautious of her. Calm yourself, man. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just feels stupid saying it out loud, a vibe check. Okay. Vibe check. Vibe check. Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet and in a dangerous situation. I'd say you've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you've probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yeah, she definitely fits the description you were given by Sophie. Does she? Okay. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything. But, look, if we're going to talk to you, you should have something to say, too. What are you doing here? About time she asked. Note to self, she really loves the sound of her own voice. Okay. Sophie Langley sent me. Oh, wait. I already said that. I'm building a coterie. I'm looking for people to join my coterie. Coterie? Been there, done that, not interested. Unless... She takes a closer look at you. Her eyes go wide. Wait a second. Shit, are you the new Langley plaything? Oh. Word seems to be getting around fast. Of course you are. It was obvious the second Langley got her hands on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your emissions tell me that you could really come in handy when... But Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. But then again, fucking Kara. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself, only parts of it audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Yeah, almost like she's got multiple personalities or something. But that couldn't possibly be it, could it? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focuses half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in, cooperation. But before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me, and that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absentmindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then she approaches a switch on the wall and flicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room. You take a look around. The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room, repurposed to be a living space. The modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above it. Jeez. At the top of the bedsheets, you notice what seems to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Wait a minute. You want my help? Moderate my cam show. Cam show? Your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This is definitely not the kind of request you expected to hear tonight. She notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred, but you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in my everyday environment. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than this, better walk out the door right now. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with absurd speed. Tap, 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 tap. 9 minutes. It's now or never. Show moderator. Risk of violating the Masquerade? High. Content warnings? Oh yes. So, do you take the job? Oh, I love a cliffhanger, and I've already gone over my time, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. If you enjoy this kind of thing from me, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. If you have a suggestion as to whether or not I engage in moderating her cam show, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, as always, thank you for watching.